Hello and welcome to this session on process optimization. In the world of international business and large global companies, business process automation and optimization is a very big and complex world. For most entrepreneurs and small business owners, a few basics will help you be more effective in managing your business, generating more profit, and ultimately having a lot more fun. So we're going to talk about business process optimization in this session, and there are 4 steps. First is the design step, second is optimize, third is to document, and then fourth is to assign. And so you think a lot of times with an entrepreneur in the early days of a company, you may be the only employee, or it's just you and a couple other people, and so every process you're responsible for. And over time, if things are going well, hopefully you're slowly hiring people that you're giving more and more of those processes and tasks to for them to do it. And so from day one, even if you're the only employee or if you just have a few employees, with every process, with every repeated task that's done within your business, whether it's making the product or how you collect money or how you sell, like we talked about in the sales process section, any other process that you have, that you do it in such a way that you could give it over to somebody down here and they would know exactly what to do. And so it starts with designing the process. Before you just run off and go do the work, it's take a look at it and what are the logical steps that you could do to complete that process with the least amount of time, energy, and effort, and people, and resources, and anything else you have. And so design the process, and a lot of times going through that in your mind before you do the task actually helps you do it better the first time. And so you design it, and then you start doing the process a little bit. And usually what happens is you realize, oh, this is taking a little longer than it needs to, or I could change the way I do that. And that's really what optimization is about, is then looking at each one of those steps that you outlined in your initial plan and then saying, how can we do it a little better? How can we do it with less money? How could this be done a little faster? And so you go through an optimization process, and ultimately when you arrive at a point where you feel like, okay, this is a pretty good process, then you document that process. And so from day one, you document processes as if you want to hand that guide over to somebody and say, read this and then go do your job. And that you've done it so well, you've documented it so well that the right person could go do it with very little explanation. So design it, optimize it, you're tweaking the knobs, and then document the process. And it can just be simple step by step. Here's the 10 steps to this process. And here are the things that you need to get it done. And so you document it, and then the last thing is you assign it to somebody. And so this might take months or years. You don't have anybody to assign it to, so you've assigned it to yourself because you don't have the money to hire somebody to do it. But if you remember back in the organization and building team session, we talked about how you go through and pick the roles that you're going to hire people for. And so that's where this comes in, is assigning it to that person. And when you do assign it to them, a couple of things are important. First, that you give them the document, allow them to read the document and understand, then ask questions, and then you demonstrate it. So you go through and you demonstrate the process, or whoever's doing the process demonstrates the process, and let them observe you. And then you have them do the process, you observe them, and provide any guidance and any adjustments that they may need to make. And so the assignment process isn't just throw the paper out, all right, go get it. It's let them read it, let them ask questions, you demonstrate it, then you observe them doing it, and then they're well on their way. So 4 simple steps to optimizing your processes in your business. If you think about every process within your business, if you had a good document that described it, how much better would your business be operating? And what you'll find is as you document processes and you start looking at them in writing, that it illuminates ways that you could go back and optimize it. So the documentation process becomes a really powerful way to optimize. So good luck with optimizing your processes in your business.